Hello folks, I am Ed Overstreet and I am currently imaging I'm on the sun. I'm not imaging, haven't started imaging. Excuse me. Got a sinus infection, which is somewhat par for me this time of year. But I wanted to show you what's going on. The sun is really giving us a show. We've got a huge region here that we've been following. Keep in mind that the mount has flipped and I haven't reoriented the camera, so this is the west side of the sun and this is the east side of the sun. So everything is backwards. But as you can see, this is rotating. It's going to be rotating westwardly, and I've been following it as it's crossed the sun, and as it's rotated, and it went from a modest sunspot to this massive area of activity. So pretty impressive. I thought we'd take a look at excuse me, take a look at it and switch telescopes in a minute. I want to take a couple of pictures first. There's just a lot going on. There's a lot of debate about whether or not we have hit the solar maximum and we'll be seeing diminished solar phenomena as the months roll on, or whether the predicted 2025 date for the solar maximum means there's still more to come. There's been so much so far, it's hard to imagine more to come. This is so bloody impressive, though. This flaring that's going on, this hot white area, if this was on the limb of the sun, you'd be seeing flares. Where this hot white area is sort of kind of like, that's my new word. Let's bring the exposure up. Yeah, this activity right here, there's nothing really outstanding going on the limb of the sun right now, unless something's just recently changed. But we have some nice filaments running right here and here, here and here. A number of spots. But this region right here is just putting on a nice show. I'm going to take a solar, I have the solar Scout on right now, and I'm going to make sure I've got my external hard drive connected. I hope it's out there. Yep. Let's make a new folder, and this will be 225 What is that doing? Oh. So let's apply that. Make sure when you make any changes that you remember to select apply at the bottom of the sharp cap. OK won't do it. So let's take a capture of about 500 frames. Now let's just start with 200 frames. And I'm going to process this one, see what we have. I'm going to bring up Autostakkert and open it. Make sure we hang on a minute. We're still finishing the capture. What's going on? Did it buffer? Yeah, it's still buffering. It hadn't written all the frames. That hard drive is, I need to go replace it. Now we can process it. So we're going to go back to wrong. And let's bring this up. And too much. That's good. Let's move the box right over this sunspot. And we'll analyze. These are my settings. I rarely change them. Well, I say that. I usually have the noise robust at 3, 4, or 5. Evidently I had it at 6 the last time I used it. It will return the same settings you used prior. I assume that's somewhere up here in the file settings where you make that election. I don't remember. Probably at some point back I did set it up that way, but I don't remember even setting it up. Okay, now we're waiting for that to finish processing, and it'll take a while. Autostakkert's running its algorithm. We're getting some bright areas right down here showing up too. I'm going to switch cameras, and this will be a much closer view, close-up view, and here's that sunspot. Wow. It's a Jim Dandy. Work on this one, and let's see if we can improve the focus somewhat. kind of create a contrast curve here. Helps the focus. It's more appealing visually too. Gone in too far. Let's go back out. I think that's looking pretty good. And let's take 500 of these. See how long it takes this to buffer. Yeah. Autostakkert ought to be finished with the analyzing, and it is. So let's get a grid. These are alignment points I'm placing on the sun, and I've got 104. Yeah, we got a pretty strong curve. Huh. We got roughly 12-15% that are in the top 25%. So I think I'll keep 20% of these. So I am going to change the curve though. I'm going to clear this out. And I'm going to change that to 200. And these are boxes that are 200 pixels by 200 pixels. And that's what I'm going to go with. Not sure what's going on here. Okay, now let's stack it. And that'll take a little while. So let's head back out to SharpCap. I hope my sound is okay. I've changed mics. At the last minute. Now let's take another capture of this at 500. Let's go up to 1,000 frames this time. It'll take a while to buffer that, but that's fine. Autostakkert's occupied anyway. Now I'm going to just kind of move around the sun, but I'm a little interested in seeing what's going on the rim too. So what I'm going to do is change my gain to say 200, and we'll run this exposure up just to see what, if anything, is going on. We have some flaring going up down here. And we have some here. Let's see if I can make that Bring this down some. I've overexposed the sun if you're just joining, so I can get a look at the limb of the sun. I'm trying to determine whether or not there's anything worth imaging in the form of a flare, spicula, or ejection, and that's kind of why you're not seeing any detail on the surface right now. And there really isn't much. So let's bring this down to about 100 gain, and we'll drop this down there. Now I want to run this up again real quick and see if, there it is right there. So let's, I want to try to get an image with the sunspot and with this at the same time. So let's leave it there. Okay, this should be a much better image to process. So let me see where my histogram is. We're a little bit too dark. Let's bring it up a little. Still. And let's bring our slider down. Bump the contrast up again. And so let's take, this time let's take another 1,000 frames, and I'm going to add P because of the flare. It's not a prominence, but that's why I'm using the letter P for prominence. It wouldn't qualify for one, but that's okie dokie. Let's see where Autostakkert is on, they finished that one. Let me start processing this one. We just finished and we got a buffer going on. So while that's buffering, gosh, I got to change that hard drive and cables. That's annoying. It's one thing to wait on long exposures, but when you wait 3 times as long for the file to be saved, then that's bad. Okay, let's just go on over to ImPPG now. We'll just process. Well, it's about done. Let me go back to Autostakkert and get this one started anyway, since it takes so long. And we're going to go to Quark P, this file. Wow, this is slow today. I need a new laptop. And let's move the reference box right over that sunspot and analyze. And let's go back out to ImPPG and let's open the full disk image that I just took earlier. It took forever to we're on the wrong drive. Oh, we don't want that. We want this one that we've already processed. I do get confused. So let's get the full disk in. Let's get rid of the box. We'll process everything at one time. And it's working. Select and process all. It's trying to. Okay. Now, first thing I want to do is move the hand controller out of the way. And I'm going to put an anchor point right there. I'm going to grab this up and I'm going to bring it all the way over here, like so. And this down. And then we're going to start a little S-curve. Some contrast in here somewhere. Trying to keep the flares on the rim. Okay, let's raise deconvolution up to about 4. .0. And then let's grab sharpening. 1.5 is good. A little bit too much. Okay, now it's processing. Let's give it a minute to do that. Alright, we can see some of the detail. Now, trying to make that, these flares, I'd like to see a little more of that. But I don't want to light up the chromosphere around the sun. Anyway, that's enough time spent on that. But we probably do have an image here somewhere. I'm not going to save it. We finished processing this one. Let's use 48, a reference of 48, a box of 48 pixels by 48 pixels, and let's set the alignment points. Oop, I don't want to do that. Clear that. Let's go to 104. better. And let's save, let's just stay with 20%. We actually have a fairly decent quality graph. It crosses at 50%, about beyond 50%. So half of the frames in this video are in the top 50% and half of them are in the bottom 50%. It crosses the 25% mark here, about 12. So about 12% of the frames are in the top 25%. I don't know, 12, 13, 14% are in the top 25%. So why don't we let's try to go after the top 15% of the frames, and let's stack those. And while we're doing that, let's go back out to SharpCap and look at the sun. And this is a live view of a very wicked sunspot. That is a boot knocker right there. Play around with the sharpening a little bit. Then I'm going to move around the sun while that here we go. Let's look at this overexposed, ooh, yeah, we want to picture this. So we got some nice filaments here. I wonder what our histogram looks like. That's fine. I like it. All right, so we're going to, we're on the eastern side of the sun right now. The mount flipped, so east is west and west is east. So the sun is actually rotating from this way. It's rotating from east to west, and we're imaging the sun after the meridian flips, so everything's ass backwards. But what I want to do, why did I come up here? Let me check this focus a little bit. I think that's better. Oh, I know what to do. We're on the east, P east, and so let's capture another 1,000 frames, and let's see where Autostakkert is with oh, we're still stacking, and it takes a while. Map analysis and map recombination is going to go really, really fast. But stacking, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, because we're doing 150 frames. I took 1,000 down here. We're keeping 15% because that'll just grab these frames in the top 25% and above. And also, because I have a very slow computer, if I kept many more than 150 frames, I could grow a beard during the time it takes to stack these. It's a slow one. Okay, while it's finishing up, let's continue our trek around. Ooh, I probably went too soon. Let's check our surface again. I'm going to take another one. I'm going to call this PE2, and let's do this again. Quick capture of 1,000 frames. Supposedly, we're going to hit solar maximum measured by the number of sunspots that are occurring over a given period of time on the sun. We're going to hit the maximum in 2025. That's the predicted date of solar maximum. I think there are a lot of solar physicists. Dr. Tamitha Skov is one of them that thinks that we may be in it right now. In fact, she thinks that there might be two. The one that we're having right now and another one next year. But enjoy it while we can. Alright, let's see what Autostakkert is doing. We finished. So let's process that one. Let's go to ImPPG. If you don't have the software, it's free, and it's certainly worth its weight in gold. And so we're looking for Quark P. Let's just go up one. Quark P. And it's this one right here. No. Open the 20% box, Ed. So it's this one right here. Let's click up here to fill the frame. And let's click here to process it all at one time. And so we're going to put an anchor point. Let's drag this thing up here. Bring this down some. And then let's grab it. And okay, yes, I like it. So we can see these flares. Okay, let's go to about 2.2 on this camera. I went to about 4.0 on the 1600. And then I'm going to stop at 2. I don't even know if I'm going to apply any sharpening, maybe 1.4 at the most. Go to 1.4 here. And so that is a wicked sunspot, isn't it? Man, holy moly. Not only is that a wicked sunspot, but we got some nice flares too in this image. Pretty cool. I'm using a Quark Chromosphere now. So I'm not going to save this either. I'm just going to close out this. And I think we'll process the last one I just took, which is PE2. And so let's go ahead and open that one. By the way, I am using a mono camera, but as soon as it loads, I'll show you a trick. In order to colorize these images in Photoshop or PixInsight or other processing software, you have to convert them to RGB or to a, not to RGB, you have to convert them to RGB color. Well, what you should do is come up here to color and select any one of these is fine. But if you don't, it's just going to be auto detect and it's going to be a grayscale or black and white. Go ahead and select now force the Bayer. It isn't going to change anything other than make it a color image. So when you get in post-processing, you don't have to go through the step of converting to a color image. It's already a color image and ready for you to use your curves or layers to add your RGB mix to get your color. So just a little tidbit and tip on using the software. So let's analyze this now, and we'll go back to finish our trip around the sun. I've taken this image. This is the one I'm processing now. Sure, it looks like we may have lost focus. And then let me take one here too as well. Wonder if, there it is. See if we can get all this in here. Just curious. Wonder if there's anything dancing around the limb of the sun down there. Let's try it. Give it a go. Nah. Nah, not really. How do I want to frame this? Do I want to just take a picture of this? Do I want to move it over this way a little more? And do it like this? I think that's what I want to do. Nope. I'm going to go back. And let's try that. Another capture, and we'll call this PE3 because we're still on the east side of the sun. Got a bright little flare area right here acting up that's new. This has also been a part of the sun that's just now starting to flare up, develop. It's brighter, much brighter than the rest of the chromosphere. Pretty cool. Let's see what Autostakkert has done. It's getting close to finishing its buffering and analysis. we'll set the anchor points or the reference box now, and we'll just put it right here. And let's stack I will stay with 15%. This doesn't look to be as good as the last image. You can't tell. And let's switch telescopes. Let's go out to, let me move out this way. Let's see something here. Before I do that, yeah, I thought that was acting up down there. Okay, we may have another picture to take before we go. I think we do. Stop right here and let's check out the limb. Yeah, it's starting to act up down there. Okay, this is a picture here too. We got the sunspots and we got this beast down here of activity on the limb. So let's go ahead and knock off 1,000 of these. Then we'll change telescopes. Let's bring up Autostakkert and see where it is. It's down to stacking and we're only 24%. Look how slow it moves. It'll get there. 25%. This is so much more software than I have computer. We're still buffering. It's maybe time to retire that external hard drive. They're real little things. They're about this size that I use. Right here. And they're like, this is a 2 terabyte, I mean. This is a 2 terabyte external hard drive by ScanDisk. They're really good. But after you've used them over and over and over and over again, you lose their, I don't know, stuff slows down and you got to change cables. And, yep. I'll show you something out here. Let's go back outside. It's 79 degrees at the telescope in Spartanburg, South Carolina. It's really about 40 degrees out, 45, no, it's about 65 degrees out, 65. We got down into the low 40s last night though. In fact, we had some freezing on the port, so I guess it got down to freezing. All right, now we're going to switch telescopes. Let's see, I want to get this in position first before I switch, because there is flexure between the two telescopes. I'm going to move this up a little bit. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. That's good. And so let's go back out to camera. And let's bring up the ASI1600 on the Solar Scout. And there's the Solar Scout. And we want to bring this up. That puts that sunspot, the size of it, when you see the full disk of the sun, it really puts it in perspective. It's huge. That's a monster. Let's check Autostakkert. Not done. And then we'll process this one. Okay. I'm going to, before I do that though, I'm going to go back out to, let's check my histogram. That's pretty good. Let me run up the, run it up a little more, go up to about 90. Okay, and let's, all right, let's take 500 here. Get rid of the histogram. Now let's go to ImPPG and let's bring up the PE3 is what I want, I believe. And we want this one. Is it finished buffering? I don't think it has. Let me go back. Well, let's try it first and see. Nope, it's still buffering. Man. Let's stop. So that should have done it. Okay. Let's go back out to ImPPG. Well, let's process this one. It's a text file. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm. Help me, Linda. I want a TIFF file. Okay, let's bring this. Let's put the box here. And get rid of it. Okay. Let's start out here. Bring that up and over. There we go. We got some. All right, let's play around here for a minute. And we need to put an anchor. Didn't mean to do that. And while we're get rid of the curves here for a second, let's bring this up. to 2.0. And 1.4. 1.3. That's good. Let's get our curve back up. That works. It needs more adjustment, but that gets us a picture. Some stuff going on there, pretty cool. Nice region of sunspot activity there and here and here. And we're not saving this either. So we did take an image of this. Let's this flare has started to really show itself, and this one's kind of disappearing since I've been live. Back to Autostakkert, and let's bring up we did P3. We haven't processed this one yet, so let's do this one here. Let's take another solar scout image while we're waiting for Autostakkert to load an image. Histogram looks okay. It does, yeah, it looks okay. Let's take this time. I'm not going to process. I'm going to take 500 frames in this video, and I'm also going to make sure I'm at 16-bit with an SER file. Yeah. So I'm going to bring this one inside and process this one on a much faster desktop in my house instead of the laptop that's outside. That's very, very slow. So let's take 500 frames instead of 200. And that one I'll end up keeping, I think. I'll send this one to Dr. Tamitha. Space Weather Woman. And let's see. Let's go back to Autostakkert. It did finally load it. And let's set the reference point there. Let's analyze. I'm going to work on this image and then I'm going to sign off. Let's, instead of watch this, let's look at the sun. It's still capturing, but I'm only at 1.3 frames per second because of the hard drive. It's dropping the cabling. Sure glad I'm not trying to do a time lapse today with the hard drive and the cable. I couldn't do one, so switch time. Let's see where Autostakkert is. Still running a buffer. And let's bring up Autostakkert. We're getting close to the first part. Okay. Still buffering from that. That's crazy. Okay. Switch back. To the 174 and the 65 EDQ. See our big massive sunspot there. Wow, that's just... This is new. This flaring right here is new. shooting up in the sky. You know, one of these things popped AT&T and knocked them out of service for a while, didn't they? Let's go back to Autostakkert. We already ran that. Why won't it let me? Yeah, this is acting up now. I can't place my grid, and I'm not going to analyze it again. Let's analyze it again. Oh, it's taking too much time. We're going to cancel. We know what the sunspot looks like. I was kind of interested in seeing, though, the sunspot. Well, I'll process it when I come in, but what the flare looks like, what kind of an image that would produce with the sunspot and the flaring on the bottom there. But this laptop's just no fun to process images on. Now it's no fun to take images on with the, well, it's not the laptop's fault, it's that external hard drive. But I'm going to call it a day. If you stop by to look at the sun, I'll be live streaming the solar eclipse on the 8th of April. I don't have totality, but I'll show you what we are going to have. Let me see. Where did I put that graphic at? Oh, where did I put that graphic at? I don't remember. I've got a graphic that's really, really good at showing what the, which is fine. Let's see here. Here you go. It's called the eclipse2024.org/ oh, I can't read all that. But what you want to do is you want to run your slider up so you have a good view of the sun, and you enter in your coordinates. And so this is from my backyard, and I'm going to advance the time, and you'll see this tells you over here at the bottom right when the eclipse is going to start, like at 1:54. So we're going to have about 82% right here. That's about the extent of it. 82% coverage. There's 83. 84% is going to be about the extent of it. So we'll have dark, but it's not going to be dark. So, and anyway, that's what we're going to have. And then sometime around 4:15, from 2 to 4:20, this is the way it's going to image for us. But I plan on imaging it as long as I can, and hopefully the clouds will leave us alone. So guys, I am going to bid everybody a good rest of the day, and I hope you have a good week coming up.